Hello and welcome to the Yami Shibai podcast, hosted by me, the Germ, joined by
It's
balloons,
Ghosty.
balloons,
For party. Good
joined
vibes. Good vibes in the house.
joined by nothing but balloons.
It's like the It Part 2.
Still haven't seen it part 2 yet.
Actually, I think the balloons might have been in Part 1. I can't remember.
I don't remember either, but I know that balloons are a big part of it. So
Part 2 is okay. If you haven't seen it, you should probably watch it. Part
I've
1's
heard
way better, though.
I've heard very middling things about it.
I think it's worth seeing.
Yeah.
It's a fun
Middling,
horror movie.
middling's not bad.
I don't think there's many horror movies that people rave about.
A few trying to remember what that one was a few years back with the woman with her child.
Babadook, for some reason, I was
Babadook.
thinking of the
That's
same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that one is a good movie. Shall we start?
Yes. Let's get into this next episode.
It's my turn to read this week, and sound perfection will be provided by Ghosty. No spoilers. She'll show what you're gonna do. It'll be a surprise. Step right up and have a look. It's time for Yamashibai. Episode title: Fish Tank. We join our three main characters on the way home from school. Talk about some creepy building. And he heard from his friend's cousin's roommate's dog, so you know it's true.
It's always the best source.
Being teenagers and hearing about a haunted house, they have to check it out. Like, it's like a rule.
Do you remember that kids' horror movie from like 15 years ago where there's this house that eats kids?
Yes, that was a fun one.
It looks like that.
Yeah, it does. It does have like that character, like the mouth and the eyes. I don't know how much you remember that movie. There's actually a very sad background they describe in that movie.
I can't remember that much about it, but I feel like the name was something ridiculous, like The Hungry House or something like
It was
that.
something ridiculous like that. Do you want to look it up while I read the next slide?
Yeah, definitely.
But of course, all the windows and doors are locked, so they rationally decide to break a window until they spot an open window out of reach. We don't get to see the window. Another slide?
Dang, teenage crime. It's called Monster House.
Monster House. Yes, that makes sense.
I googled kids horror movie house eats people. Wow, the animation looks way better than I expected. Actually,
It was in the time it was done in a way that will age well.
the kids kind of look stupid, but the house looks really good.
Yeah, like, it's stylized, so I think it works out well. I want to point this out. I love this one image of one guy holding a rock, one guy trying to open a window, and another one pointing to the open window.
The guy holding the rock looks like he thinks he's so smart. He looks so sly.
The guy that tried to open the window looks so frustrated. Like, window. I just love that image. After climbing on his friend's back to get in, he finds himself in a pitch dark house, alone, hearing something weird in the room with him. Ripping the curtains to let light in,
Hulk smash.
He sees what was making the strange noise. A dirty old fish tank. Ooh, could this be the name of the episode? No. Then move on. He takes a closer look at the algae-infested tank. Using footage of real water, we see bubbles rise to the top, but it's too murky to see what's inside. We'll be back to this image later.
What do you think they filmed for this image? Turn the lights off in the kitchen sink or something?
Mop bucket. That's my bet.
That's very
A
possible.
hose in the bottom of a mop bucket. And they just keep releasing bubbles.
It's very possible.
We'll talk about this a little now. I'm so disappointed they didn't make the water green.
You can barely see it. They just put like a really dark filter on it.
It's true, but I think they could have made the water green.
Mm-mm.
That's my only real negative of this scene. Otherwise, I think it works. For being a mop bucket with a hose in it.
That's Hollywood, baby.
We get a cool shot from in the tank looking out at the boy, holding his nose from the smell of the tank. They just go on and on about how smelly this fish tank is.
I kind of liked that because I can picture how a stinky fish tank smells. and it's very unpleasant.
I think it's a good
One of the
thing,
nerds.
but it makes me wonder why he puts his face so close at any time.
Yeah, me too.
He leans in closer to see further inside the green water when something hits the side of the tank. He finds a stool and peers over the top of the tank to get a better look. He leans in, closer and closer. Where are the sound effects?
No, it's not yet. That's
They're like,
still
oh,
coming
you're
up.
going to wait. Oh, okay. Thought this was the time.
You're ahead of yourself.
He gasps as purple arms reach out of the tank. The screen goes blank, and we hear... What do we hear?
I drank most of the water since we initially rehearsed that.
Oh no! Shake your belly! So in case it wasn't obvious, it was a splash. I think it was obvious, but just in case. The next thing we see is an empty room, and the fish tank is still as ice. His friend enters the room, looking for his friend, sees the tank, and turns to leave. He hears a bloop in the fish tank, as catching his attention. The end. See the
That's
cats?
Cliche anime credit reel.
Yeah.
I was really, for some reason, I felt even more jarred by the cliche anime credit reel this week than I did last week.
Oh.
It was like, blump, and then it goes dark, and then it's like, da-da-da-da-da-da.
The music does not help. It does not help. Oh. So, what do you want? Anything pops into your mind about this episode? I have a few notes.
The main thing was the smell of the fish tank. Just because I could picture that so clearly, I thought that was a good kind of like gross out kind of thing.
Definitely, I loved the description of the smell. It's odd, but I loved it.
For some reason, we all know what that smells like, or at least anybody that's ever owned a fish tank.
Yeah.
I don't know if I really got the themes that much.
We should talk about themes and metaphors next. But you know what we should talk about now? Look how big that rock is that he crashed. He's taking out an entire window, not just like a small pane.
He was smashing through the wall with that thing.
That's like almost as big as his head. Like, why did he grab a rock that big? Oh man, I just wanted to bring us back to this again.
This is straight up a crime. We never see the third kid again.
Mm-hmm. And it never shows the first kid like letting the other ones in.
I'm actually not sure which kid we were supposed to be seeing at the fish tank.
I think it's the one with the black hair on the left. We can take another look. It might be the one in the middle, but I don't think so.
I thought it was the rock guy.
You know what? It's
it is
Rock
the rock
Boy.
guy.
It's the Rock Boy.
He had it coming. They kind of get close to some like deep water, mysterious uncertainty kind of feelings with this episode.
But it's not that deep.
Yeah, you kind of lose it a little bit with the fact that it's just a tiny fish tank.
Yeah.
So like that part is a little bit underwhelming to me.
A medium-sized fish tank.
I think that's my biggest gripe, I guess, with this one is a fish tank just isn't that scary.
Did you see the new movie coming out? Something to do with a pool? I forget exactly what it was.
No.
So the trailer does a really good job setting you up. And then at the ending, it goes, boo! Metaphorically speaking.
Yeah. It's like a jump scare trailer?
Yeah. It's like there's like this mysterious pool. They're playing in it. Like weird stuff happens. Someone gets pulled underwater. And then it's like, it looks like infinity. It's like really cool. And then in the end, it's just like a ghost jumps up and goes, boo! Like they ruined all their momentum.
It sounds like when I start a new save on The Sims and I get The Sims to go in the pool and then I delete the ladder.
100%. That's what it is. Yeah.
The movie version.
Oh, but it's such a cool concept. But not only is it like a lame jump scare at the end, they also reveal that it's a ghost doing it all.
That is kind of lame.
It really should have been an unknown entity. Would have made it a lot cooler.
And we love ghosts. We're all about ghost stories. So if we're not into it, then who's going to be?
It's just not making the right promises is what's going on.
I have one more thing to mention about this episode.
Yeah.
What did you think of the fake out ending?
This guy.
And then the screen goes black. Yeah.
It's cliche. It doesn't bother me that much, but it doesn't excite me either.
Didn't really add that much to the episode.
No.
Did you kind of feel like this episode dragged a bit as well, like the last one? Where they would keep repeating the same thing and it wasn't really advancing the story very much?
I think that's what annoyed me about the smell. They kept bringing it up.
Because I noticed that was the same thing that kind of bothered me about the first episode. Like, he was like, there's something there. Oh, there's something there. It was like the exact same kind of pacing that I found a little bit irritating. My brain stops paying attention, my TikTok brain, when they do that.
If you do it right, you can build suspense like that. But I wonder if they rush, because the rest of it's rushed to do this story, if it doesn't work.
It just feels like there's so little that happens because the episodes are short, which is fine. But when they draw it out like that, it's just like, it feels like they're trying to fill time or something.
I think if they want to fill time, they should have spent more time on the bucket water, you know?
Oh, you forgot to show the second slide of that, I think. I don't remember going back to it. Or maybe I just missed.
Oh, we talked so much about it. It's just the bucket.
The second time? I thought the first time we discussed the...
When we saw it, we were like, we talked about how, how do you think they did it? Do you think they used a bathtub or something? I was like, no, it's definitely a mop bucket.
I just thought they showed it twice.
Nope, they only showed it once.
Huh.
Stuck that much in your mind, eh?
Yeah, it's my main memory of this episode. I'd kind of like it if they stuck to like one real scene per episode. That'd be kind of fun.
I think most of the time they do. There's an exception I can think of, but most of the time they do.
I want them to do something like completely weird and unexpected with the real life scenes.
There's an episode. It's not this season. Oh, it's coming.
Oh, damn.
I don't want to give any spoilers.
Like a horror jump scare with like real video or something. That would be awesome.
No spoilers, but there's an episode you'll be looking forward to. Not this season. I don't remember what season it is, but you'll look forward to that.
Exciting.
Yeah. Let's see. So what? Until I paused, you may have noticed when we were going through it, I never noticed that this was a fish shape.
Oh yeah, I never really took away what I was looking at that much. It's like tentacles that come out of the tank, isn't it? We didn't really discuss that.
We can go to that slide too. It's definitely arms.
Oh yeah, it's like a fish with two giant arms.
I like that. Just normal fish body, 2 arms.
It only makes sense if it fits in there.
It could be like an infinity tank. It could be no bottom.
That's true. It's just like the movie.
I wanted to mention how I like how they look like corpse arms. They're like purple.
Maybe the owner died in the fish tank and now his ghost is stuck in the fish tank.
Oh, cool. Maybe like the husband or wife got tired of the other one, killed them, fed them to the fish, and the fish got hungry and had people arms.
Freaky.
Like this episode does have a because of the mysterious factor, I do think that makes me like it a little more. Because you can speculate all day about what's going on.
Yeah, it was kind of like iffy, but then I did kind of like it redeemed itself in a few places.
So I know that it says in the episode when he pulls down the curtain that it's rotten. That's why it tears. But it just so looks like he just tears them away. Like
yeah, his face. I love that. Yeah, it's like, oh, it's dark in here. Yeet. I think a fish tank in a dark room, do you think it would get that much algae? I thought algae needed sunlight.
Algae does need sunlight. It definitely something would grow in there. You're probably right, not algae.
Busted.
Ghost algae.
Whole illusion shattered.
All the algae eats people. Of course.
That's probably what it is. Yep. It's feeding on corpses.
Okay, I talked about all my notes. Anything else you want to say about the episode?
No, I think we covered it pretty well.
So time for comments. So you can read first, and we're going to start with my anime list this week instead of Crunchyroll.
Well, a forum signature. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Right?
Oh God, the name.
I know.
Olquiora
Oh, pretty good.
from my anime list. They've got 24,141 posts. They said curiosity got them. I wouldn't even get close to that gross fish tank.
100%. Yep. So what
And
I
that's
did...
kind of like
Go, you talk first. Yeah.
That's kind of part of the messaging of this episode, I guess, was just classic.
Clean your fish tank.
Clean your fish tank, and teenagers don't do stupid stuff.
Yeah. 1 second. Where is themes and metaphors? Is that after this? Yes, that's after comments.
Yeah,
okay.
It's always after this.
Yeah. You think I make these? So how my philosophy of this was, I found this comment and I checked Crunchyroll to see who commented something like this first. And this was the first one that had like, why would you go close to the tank? It's gross.
The original.
Yeah. That's how I try and do these. And Crunchyroll usually gets out on top.
It's easier to comment on Crunchyroll than it is to go watch it on Crunchyroll and then go to my anime list and write on the forums about it. So
well, he didn't watch it on Crunchyroll. Shh.
No way. You think somebody would do that on the internet?
No
way.
You wouldn't download a car.
No.
That commercial was so funny. I totally would download a car. That sounds so cool.
Me too. 3D print that shit.
That's like the #1 like worst commercial you could have.
The first thing I would print.
Yeah. It's like, you could download a car? I'm going there now. So funny. And also, like, you're not really... It's not like real life where if you steal a car, the person loses the car. It's not like... It's not a good example. Yeah.
It's a terrible example, actually. And they always show that to people that actually rented the DVD.
That's true,
it's
yeah.
Like you being shamed and you didn't do it.
It's like the FBI warning, like, copying this and selling it illegally is against the law.
But then if you pirate it, you don't actually have to watch that.
Yeah, you just cut that out.
Yeah. So dumb.
Zach Gunner says, so inside is another person before him, maybe the house owner. We discussed that. I think it's a very valid theory.
We kind of came to that too.
Yeah. I hope that box hasn't been there long. But it doesn't really matter because it was small.
I didn't see the box.
Do you see that box?
Nope.
Oh,
maybe it's on.
It's only on my side. Just a small little box, like right down there.
Yeah, it's an Easter egg.
My little box. Hope it wasn't there too long. So you'll enjoy this person.
Shadow Wolf X. I think we read the comment from this person last week. It said, that's what happened when you forget to feed your fish. They grow big arms and pull you in.
Yeah, feed your... You know what? We don't even do themes. Don't need to do themes and metaphors. Like, feed your fish. That's the moral of the story.
Maintain your pets.
Yeah. Keep their tank clean. Don't give them giant human arms. So Aoi Yuzagi says, everyone keeps hating on the narration this season, but I actually like it. It reminds me when I was younger and my friends and I would sit in a dark room and tell each other scary stories. Sure, they weren't great, but they're fun. And like, I really agree with this comment. There's a lot of negativity for the narration in these 2 episodes, but I have fun with it.
I agree with this comment that it is reminiscent of like scary stories in a dark room. But I also agree with the other people that I don't like the narration that much. It's like a little bit too smooth, I guess. It doesn't quite fit.
I do feel like it goes overboard, but it is like, it does feel like a group of friends telling this story together to me.
I agree with that, yeah.
Here you go.
Crunchyroll HQ said, this person's scamming for sure.
I love that name. It's so good.
I can't swim, so the sound of the boy falling into the water tank with the gulp at the end is terrifying to me. Really? It's more like bloop.
Okay. If you're
it
scared...
sounds like something falling in the toilet. Like it's scared every
Do you think it's a reference to the moon episode?
It is the most similar one. I was thinking about it earlier too, with the deep water, mysterious kind of fears.
At least this one has the water to do that. Do you remember
That's
that whole
true.
controversy that we went through? There is a
What was
bloop,
that?
but it's a dug-in toilet, so there's no water to bloop.
Oh.
Like controversy, people out in the streets. And look, they did it 15 hours before I saw this.
Oh wow, that's unusual.
Right?
Wow.
I think the last one we had was a little closer. Like we had one really close as well. I think it was like 46 minutes or something. But this one was
Good.
pretty close too.
Wow. Surprised people are commenting that much.
It's not consistent. It's like 1 or 2 a year, and I just happen to catch some of these. I thought it was cool, and he had a good comment, so why not?
Yeah, it's good.
Themes and metaphors. Don't break
like I
into
said during-
houses.
Yeah, that's like I said during the comment. It's kind of like this is a classic Yami Shibai. Teach the kids not to do bad things. Like I guess they're trying to teach them early. When you're a teenager, don't break into houses and commit crimes, or you'll pay the consequence.
I bet if we rewrite this story, where the teenager saw the dirty fish tank, and then like something bumped him against the side, and then hard transition to all three friends cleaning the tank, I bet that would have been a happy ending.
That would have been so good.
Yeah, it's
That
like
would have been my
something
favorite
bumps
Yami
against
Shibai episode.
something bumps against the tank. He leans in, the arms come out, go to black. We come back, and all three friends are with the arms cleaning the tank.
They're just cleaning the house.
There you go, Mr. Fish.
Turns into like a musical.
And then they all hug at the end. It'd be all such a sweet end.
That would be my favorite episode.
That would be so good. And the ending theme would make that better too.
It's true. It made sense to follow that up.
The guitar. Oh man, we only could go back in time and tell them. I think people would have loved that so much.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah. So, what is your personal score there, Ghosty?
Yeah, I liked it a little bit better than last week. I still found it wasn't really that interesting, and it kind of drug out a little bit. So this is still pretty low for me. Hopefully not a trend for the season. I'm giving it a 3 out of 10.
So far, it's been a trend.
It's not good so far.
Yeah. For me, I didn't like it as much as last week. I did have fun, but unmemorable fun. So I'm gonna give it a 4. I think that's fair. So we got a 7. Look, we remembered.
Finally.
I think we forgot the last like 2 times at least.
Somebody's got a freestyle.
So, the next week episode, sewing shears.
This is going to be a hard one because I don't even know what that tool is.
Oh, do you want me to tell you before you start?
It's like a sheep's shear. Wow, that was hard to say. Sheep's shear.
It's like a sheep shear, except they use it to cut like thread.
There's a lot of ways this could go. I think they're cutting something with rusty shears, and maybe
very salad fingers.
They cut themselves accidentally or something and get cursed.
And they have to go to the hospital for tetanus.
Something like that. That's the most horrifying thing.
That's the twist ending.
It's a lesson for kids about tetanus.
Not that close.
My best. It's the best I could do, given I just learned what a sewing shear was.
I liked your idea for an episode. It's fun. So, thank you for joining me, Ghosty.
That's been good. See you in the next one.
And thank you guys for being you. Bye.
More balloons.
Wait. There.